Well, it's about time we took a look at some of these Sound Blaster products. This is the Sound Blaster X-Fi Extreme Gamer, and this is the Fatality Edition, meaning it's got Jonathan Wendell's signature all over the place. And you know what? They only seem to put his signature on really good quality products. And let me start off with a quote from our friends over at Creative. Now, they say that it is our belief that once a gamer uses the X-Fi, there's no going back to conventional audio. Well, you know what? There is no going back to conventional audio because with these Sound Blaster X-Fi cards, they've raised the bar on audio in music, in games, and in entertainment. And now that I mentioned those three, there are three categories. When you install one of these cards, the first thing you're going to notice, the music sounds a lot better. It uses some crystallization technology. It's 24-bit. It's called the X-Fi Crystallizer 24-bit. Now, this is my favorite feature on the card because I'm big into music. I'm also a big gamer. It's got some awesome features for games. But first off, let me tell you about the crystallizer. Now, what this does is it rebuilds some of those frequencies that get damaged with your MP3s, your WMAs, and your AAC files and your MP4s. Now, when you use compression technology, the frequencies, they get a little, sometimes the high frequencies like the cymbals and that sort of thing, some of those frequencies get lost. Some of the lower frequencies as well, they get lost. Well, I'm not sure how these guys do it, but the high and the low frequencies get rebuilt and resampled, and it sounds amazing. You're going to immediately notice a difference, and you can even check mark on and off and like listen to the difference, but you'll immediately notice a huge difference. And you'll also notice a difference in your headphones. You can hear it there probably even better than you can hear it with your speakers. So that's a very cool feature. All right, now this is the gaming sound card. This is the Extreme Gamer version. So let's talk about gaming features. Well, this one has RAM on board. Now, not only does it remove the stress from the processor, so right there you're already going to get a 10 to 15% jump in speed in games because when you're using onboard sound and a lot of the other sound cards, the processing is still done on the CPU. So all that audio, the different channels and voices, simultaneous voices going on, it's all happening on the CPU. Well, this one they offload it right here, and it has XRAM, meaning that if you're playing some of the games that support XRAM, a lot of the Quake Engine games and some of the newer games coming out do support the XRAM. It's got 64 megabytes of that RAM, and then it can actually store, so it can prefetch, and it goes onto the RAM, and it makes your games run even faster. So this works in tandem with your other hardware, like your graphics card and that sort of thing, to boost your frame rate. So if you're a gamer and you're not using one of these, you're not getting the maximum potential out of your games, and that's just ridiculous. And any premium system that you see online has one of the Creative sound cards in it because it boosts your performance. Now let's talk about something else that's new in this generation. Now EAX, it's been around for a while. This one's EAX HD 5.0, and it allows you to hear up to 128 simultaneous voices. Now, what's nice about these cards with XRAM, now you can hear 128 different simultaneous voices. That's a lot going on in your 3D environment. But each one of those individual voices can have up to 5 real-time effects on it. So there can be reverb, there can be echo on each different voice without slowing it down at all. Now that's a huge, huge breakthrough. And these guys have been able to do it with this card. And beside that, it's also, if you're someone with a side window, it's a really nice looking card. Let's take a look at the ins and outs while we're talking about the aesthetics. Get a load of these connectors. Now the first one I want you to notice, that's the digital in and out, and that's also where you're going to plug your microphone or anything you want to plug in. Beside that, that's if you're going to be plugging up the surround sound with direct connect. The first one is line out for the front channels, front right and left. That's the rear right and left, and then that is the center and subwoofer. And beside that, that's your MIDI port. Now let's look at the card here. On the card you have a few different inputs. Alright, now the first thing you'll notice here, that's the video in, and beside that we have an auxiliary in there. And then if we move over to the side here, we have SPDIF for the front panel, and all these little pins here, that's to hook up the large front connector if you want to upgrade to one of the Creative front panels. You can plug that in right there, no problem. Now let me talk about one more thing about this card that really makes it a premium card for gamers, and that's CMSS3D. What is that? Well, a couple years ago they bought some technology, and this technology allowed them to take a stereo signal and convert it somehow. I don't know how they do it. They convert the stereo signal into 8-channel audio, meaning surround sound. And you really hear this with your headphones. If you're using 2-channel headphones, just standard stereo headphones. Somehow, I'm not sure how they do it, but they use those speakers in your headphones with this technology, and it really makes you feel like you're in a 3D environment. You can hear the center channel audio, you can hear the rear, you can hear the left and right, and it all sounds like it's coming out of a separate speaker. And this gives you a huge advantage in games, because if someone's coming up behind you and you're playing online, it sounds like they're coming from behind you. Like I said, I'm not sure how they do it, but they do it, and it sounds amazing. Now, like I said, this is the X-Fi Extreme Gamer Edition. The difference in this one and the Music Edition, I mean, don't think these are just for games. They're amazing for music. Like I said, there's 3 different modes. There's the entertainment mode, which is good for your DVDs. There's the music mode, awesome for your music. I guess that's part of the entertainment mode. The one last mode I forgot to mention was the audio creation mode. Now, in audio creation mode, it just gives you a plethora of options for mixing your audio while you're trying to record. So if you're using a different recording program like what are some good ones?
Cakewalk.
Like Cakewalk. That's old school, but yeah, a lot of people still use it. And what's the Cubase, and maybe Adobe Audition. Well, this one has a suite of features that are going to be at your fingertips to let you maximize your potential for recording. All right. And then we also have several other editions of this card. The last one I want to talk about is the Extreme Music card. It's basically the same card without the XRAM. So if you're someone who's into music and you're like, you know what, I don't know if I need the XRAM because I don't play that many games, go for the X-Fi Extreme Music card, because it's got all the crystallization and all that, plus you get the quality of a Creative Labs product. But this one is the ultimate card for gaming. Now, if you call yourself a gamer or an enthusiast and you're running around with onboard sound, or you don't have one of these, well, you're just a phony. That's what I think you are. And plus, you're not getting the maximum potential out of your system. Now, again, this card features EAX 5.0. It's the HD. Also, it's got onboard RAM, 64 megabytes of XRAM. You also have the 24-bit audio crystallizer. That's amazing. And CMSS 3D to give you that virtual surround sound just from a stereo signal. And it has 3 audio modes for you to use, so you can use whatever's best for you at the time. Again, this was the Sound Blaster X-Fi Extreme Gamer Fatality Edition. I'm going to do a little spiel on all these, the different ones in the family, over at news.tigerdirect.com. So head over there to get the scoop. That's where I'll be hanging out. I'll see you later. For more information on the Creative Labs Sound Blaster X-Fi Extreme Gamer Fatality Edition, go to Tiger Direct and type C44-3336 into the search box, or give us a call at 800-800-8300.